This is just absolutely pure evil.
Run as fast as you can, and we hear a gunshot.
There are numerous fatalities. It's a horrific situation.
We were just like praying and crying.
I'm absolutely sick to my stomach to see children who go to school armed with backpacks and pencils lose their lives.
He definitely should be paying for what he's done.
"17 students and adults shot and killed by a former student." This morning so far, deputies still have no motive. These children and their teachers thought there was a fire drill inside of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. We have team coverage this morning. Brightside's Jenny Dean is in Pasco County, where the sheriff is adding security to schools. But right now, I want to take you live to Broward County. Emerald Morrow is in Parkland, right across from that high school. Emerald, what is it like out there this morning?
Well, Courtney, you know, it's a very somber scene out here. We just spotted a small memorial that's growing a few blocks away from the school. And as you can see behind me, you know, there still is a pretty strong police presence out here. They're keeping us pretty far back away from the school because, you know, this investigation is ongoing. However, that has not stopped us from getting information and details for you. Now, two of the biggest pieces of this puzzle that are still missing. Why? We know that the alleged shooter had a checkered past and was expelled before. And the other big question that we have, who were these 17 victims? Sheriff's officials say they know who 12 of them were, but the other 5, they're still working on those identities. Now, so just imagine what those parents and loved ones are going through knowing that your child did not come home, but still no confirmation from authorities because some of the students didn't even have IDs or backpacks on them. Now, it's possible that not all of the victims were students, though. We're seeing reports that a football coach as well as a teacher were killed as well. That teacher was apparently trying to protect his or her students.
Teachers didn't really know how to react because it was all a shock to them, just like us. Been practicing protocol, but you don't know what to do until the real thing happens.
Now, this, of course, is a developing story. We are expecting an official update later this morning, and we're, of course, going to be there to give you the very latest. Now, speaking of updates, we know that students, they carry their cell phones, they're posting on social media, and a lot of these students were doing that as this was happening in real time. So, Courtney, tell us some of the videos. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot, but I'm trying to filter through to show what is appropriate and what is not. But I do have to note that the Sun Sentinel is reporting one of the 17 dead was that assistant football coach named Aaron Fies. He is being called a hero because he was shot while he was helping a student. With that said, what you are about to see and what you are about to hear is going to be hard for some of you. This video is disturbing. And as you can hear, multiple shots being fired, students screaming, students sitting on the ground of their classroom trying to stay safe, trying to stay unseen. Here's another one of a classroom that you can see students and the teacher, they're waiting. That's all they can do, waiting for the next cue from authorities. As you can see, police were coming in to tell these students to raise their hands in this moment. And we're going to pan over and you're going to see one of these students shaking in fear, shaking. And this is a picture, this is one of the first ones I saw, and it humbled me because this shooting happened on Ash Wednesday, one of the holiest days for some Christians, the start of a season of fasting and prayer. And this is the last thing that I'm going to show you. The suspect, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, getting arrested. He is in custody, and hopefully we're going to start to hear more on why he did this horrible crime, Rob.
Yeah, Courtney, that video there showing police arresting him. It took police 90 minutes to arrest the suspected shooter after that shooting started. This is 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. He's a former student that was expelled from the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School last year. If you look closely at this photo, you can see him wearing a school ROTC shirt. Jim Gard, a teacher at the school, says he had issues with Cruz last year and asked him to leave the campus. He also said Cruz wasn't allowed to carry a backpack on campus because Cruz made threats to teachers. And we just learned from an attorney that Cruz's mother and father died just last year, and Cruz was not coping with that loss well.
The young man who's accused of the shooting had lived here for about the last 90 days. His mother recently passed away in November, and this family took him in. They knew him from Douglas High School. They are shocked, cannot believe this, don't know what to say, and they're just cooperating with law enforcement in every way that they can.
The Broward County Sheriff's Office has already said that Cruz's social media accounts had some very disturbing material on them. We did speak to one student who says she saw Cruz in the middle of the shooting and actually spoke with him.
As I was speaking to him, he seemed very, I don't know what the word I want to say is, but he was trouble in middle school, so I kind of joked to him about it and said, "I'm surprised you weren't the one who did it," and he just gave me a huh. You know, I really have no words. I mean, I've known him since middle school. He's always been nice to me, but he definitely should be paying for what he's done.
Amazing to hear that interaction there. That student, her name Alexa, she says she never saw a gun. When she was walking with Cruz, she thought he was also evacuating the school like everybody else. Only later did she realize that Cruz was the suspected shooter and how lucky she is to be alive.
And we are still waiting to learn the names of those killed and how many were students. Attorney General Pam Bondi has already promised the state of Florida will pay for all funeral and burial expenses.
We've all become a club that we never wanted to be a part of. We will continue to work together as a team, as a family, and love and take care of all of these victims and their family members. That's why we're all here.
Florida knows all too well about mass shootings. Attorney General Bondi also said the state will pay for counseling for all of the students and the survivors of this shooting. GoFundMe is freezing all accounts receiving money for this tragedy. They will go through each account to make sure it is legitimate before they release that account. And again, Florida, unfortunately, has dealt with too many of these. Governor Rick Scott joined law enforcement at the school late last night. He offered condolences to the families of those killed, and he will visit the survivors in the hospital.
You're furious. How could this ever happen in this country? How could this happen in this state? This is a state that is focused on keeping all of our children safe. You come to the conclusion this is just absolutely pure evil.
The governor has also ordered all flags be flown at half-staff. He says in honor and remembrance of the victims of this senseless violence committed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland on February 14th, 2018, I hereby direct the flags of the United States and the state of Florida to be flown at half-staff at all local and state buildings, installations, and grounds throughout the state of Florida. The flag shall be lowered immediately and remain at half-staff until sunset on Monday.
Working with some fog around the region this morning. Most of it is east of the immediate Tampa Bay region, also up along the Nature Coast. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect until 9 o'clock for Polk County, Hernando, and Citrus County, where this fog could reduce the visibility down to a quarter of a mile. Here's what the visibility is from our reporting stations. Half-mile visibility in Inverness and Brooksville. Over in Lakeland, 1 mile visibility. So if you're in Tampa and you're traveling east or north on 75 or I-4, know that you could run into some fog. This fog hangs around to around 10 and 11 o'clock. But we will see more sunshine again this afternoon with high temperatures around 80.
It is 5:07, and right where we have the fog is where we have our biggest incident of the morning. It's a car fire, and it's on eastbound I-4 just before McIntosh Road after Kingsway Road here before Plant City. And it is blocking the center and right lane, so you have to stay left. Only the left lane is getting by there. Our other crash that's causing a problem is also in Hillsborough. This is more in Tampa. Hillsborough Avenue at Hanley Road, couple of lanes blocked here. This is just to the west of the Veterans Expressway.
If you are just now waking up, here is what we know about the deadly school shooting in Broward County. 17 students and adults were killed. The suspected shooter, a former student, is in custody. Yesterday's shooting is the 18th school shooting this year. It is not even March. The database everytownresearch.org tracks shootings across the U.S. 8 of the incidents involved gunfire, but no injuries. 7 others were intentional shootings that caused injuries or death. 2 were suicide related. 1 was accidental, and that also caused injury. This school shooting is among the 10 deadliest shootings in U.S. history. Since 2013, just the past 5 years, there have been nearly 300 school shootings in the U.S. That's about 1 every week. 2/3 of school districts say they have active shooter drills. Only 19 states require them. We know that this school did have active shooter drills. For many of you who are waking up this morning and you're getting your kids ready for school, you're a little scared, right? You're having to have a difficult conversation. As the news of yet another school shooting settles in, the time when we say, not in my town, not at my school, well, you're realizing it actually can happen. Brightside's Jenny Dean is live in Pasco County for us this morning at the sheriff's office. And Jenny, they were one of the very first agencies yesterday to speak up, trying to ease those fears that all of us parents have.
Yeah, I mean, would you feel a little more comfortable seeing a patrol car out in front of your child's school or patrolling near your child's school? That's the point. That's what Pasco Sheriff's Office put out on social media yesterday. They emphasize there is no threat to any schools. They just want to provide peace of mind to parents, to let them know they're there and they are patrolling. And, you know, Pasco County has really kind of changed the way that they are handling the response to school shootings. As a matter of fact, they talked about this back in August at the beginning of the school year when they said they're no longer going to be teaching kids to just huddle in the corner. They want these students to, they're using these videos that you're seeing now to teach students to be more proactive. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they want them to use a lot of self-defense, but it does mean that they are asking the students to do more than they were being asked to do.
That we need to change the way we think about protecting our kids. Now's the time to do it.
This is the society we live in, and it's unfortunate, but in our society we have to be prepared because something will happen again.
And again, that was back at the beginning of the school year in August when they talked about changing their strategy. They did not take it lightly. They say it's based on the latest research because they want to do what they can to help keep your kids safe while they're in school, and they want to be prepared to save lives. Now, other school districts in our area are responding to this. We're going to talk to you about that and what they're saying coming up in about half an hour. For now, we're live at the Pasco County Sheriff's Office in Newport. Richie, back to you.
I'm sure so many of you want to talk with your children about this shooting. Keep in mind, even when you ask your teen, they're not always going to open up right away.
Just because you have a teen that you might say, hey, how are you feeling? And they're saying that they're fine, know that that's not where they are. They may just not have the language yet to be able to talk about what they're going through. They may just not be able to process everything that is happening to them at that moment in time.
The expert who you just heard from is going to join Courtney Curtis here in the studio starting at 5:45. They'll be on Facebook Live. You can ask questions. She will answer any question that you have, whether you're a parent or if you are a student watching us right now. You can go to our Facebook page, 10 News WTSP. We will be on there as long as you need us.
It is easy to feel helpless in the wake of something like this, but there is a way to help even right here in the Bay Area. Local hospitals need blood donations because extra blood was sent to the hospitals in South Florida near Parkland. We found a father who was desperately searching for a place to donate yesterday. One Blood says they need donations of O-negative blood. It's the universal donor blood type, and it's used to treat trauma patients.
I need to do something to help these people.
You wanted to come?
I wanted this. I searched. This is the second hospital we go there and search where we can donate blood.
If you'd like to help, One Blood recommends making an appointment at one of their donation centers on their website. We have a link to that on our website, WTSP.com.
Switching gears now, a quick check on your weather as we head into our Thursday morning. Fog is going to be the main thing that may influence you. I say may because not everybody is going to see that fog this morning. Most of it is out into Polk County and up along the Nature Coast. We're looking over at the Florida Southern College campus in Lakeland right now, where that fog is sort of settling in. Visibility is around 1 mile in Lakeland right now, but not as great in other places. Half-mile visibility from Winter Haven down to Bartow, up into Zephyr Hills and eastern Pasco County, half-mile visibility. So if you're traveling north along I-75 or along the I-4 corridor, that's where you're more likely to find some of that fog. Most of the Bay Area is fine, but we still will see that possibility for some fog to settle in, if not just some low cloud cover setting up shop as we head through the first half of the morning. Our fog predictor keeps the fog around through around 10 o'clock, I think. After that, the fog lifts pretty quickly, giving way to mostly sunny skies. Turns out to be a great day. Temperatures will be back up to around 80 degrees under mostly sunny conditions. So our satellite and radar is showing you that low cloud cover, actually some sea fog in the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. That will be a concern for us tomorrow as we see more of a westerly wind drawing some of that sea fog through early tomorrow morning. Today, though, we'll have to also keep an eye out for the sunshine, the heat of the day, potentially giving us a sea breeze. It seems a little early for that, right? But a sea breeze may spark an isolated shower. That chance of rain less than 10%, so I'll leave it off of the 7-day forecast for now. But something just to keep in the back of your head. If you see one of those cumulus clouds trying to develop, it may spark an isolated shower. Again, chance of rain minimal at best today. High temperatures up around 80 degrees this afternoon under a partly cloudy sky. Here comes that sea fog developing through early tomorrow morning. We'll keep an eye on that as we make our way through early tomorrow morning. That should thin out pretty quickly by tomorrow afternoon. Great looking Friday for you with high temperatures back in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Temperatures this morning, comfortable, mid 60s, upper 60s for most of us. 62 in Brooksville, 67 in St. Pete, Tampa now at 67 degrees as well. Fog in spots this morning, again, more likely east, and then we'll see high temperatures back up to around 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies. 7-day forecast keeps temperatures right around 80 as we head through the weekend. Mostly sunny conditions through your weekend, and then next week a little warmer with a small chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday.
It is 5:18 and we are dealing with fog out there this morning, something Grant has been talking about. And it's really thick along the I-4 corridor, especially as you travel into Polk County here into Lakeland at State Road 33. Their visibility is pretty low, so just be careful. It's moving in and out. Get those low beams on and take it slow. Now, if you're traveling from Tampa and trying to go into Lakeland, there is this issue, and it is causing a big delay. Eastbound I-4 before McIntosh Road, there's a car fire here. This is after Kingsway Road, so we're looking a couple miles after I-75 in Tampa before Plant City. And you can see because the center and outside lanes are blocked and only the left lane's getting by, traffic is jammed here, and it's only 5:19. So give yourself time. Remember, you always have US 92 just to the south that you can take and kind of get around that. And then into Tampa here, there's also this crash along Hillsborough Avenue at Hanley Road. You have a couple of lanes blocked here and injuries reported. So this is to the west of the Veterans Expressway. This should be cleared, though, before morning rush hour kicks in. Here's a live look in downtown St. Petersburg. The fog, not really thick here at all. I-175 at 275. Your travel time looking great through St. Pete, just 10 minutes between the Pinellas Point Drive interchange and up to Ganji Boulevard. And let's look way south of there into Manatee and Sarasota. I-75 in the clear. That construction that was blocking lanes right near University Parkway, that is clearing.
At 5:20, we are staying on top of headlines this morning. Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn and 4 other mayors are calling President Trump's infrastructure plan a scam. They're going to be talking about it this afternoon. That call is at 3:30, and we will let you know what else they have to say.
The Pasco County principal accused of having child pornography will be in federal court today. Kyle Ritz-Sema has been named in a federal investigation involving child porn. 10 News will be in the courtroom for that hearing today.
And the FBI is asking for any information, including pictures and video from this deadly shooting at a school in Florida. I posted that link on my Twitter page, Courtney GTV.